Folks, this is one of the most amazing yards that I've been in for a long, long time. About 7 years ago, it was nothing but grass. And the man took and built up the ledge here and made himself a platform. He created himself a river, a creek, as I call it. And then he started planting these desert shrubs. And he hardly ever waters it. But look at it now. Every time I come here, there's always something in bloom. Let's start with the acacia. I remember coming here one day when that was just nothing but a stick, and about 6, 7 years ago, and now it's got the typical little bald flowers on it, and they're so fragrant. I think this is sweet acacia, and I think that's what we're seeing. Parked underneath it is a Spanish broom, and look at that. Of course, the dominant color in the desert is always yellow because apparently that's what the bees. Right in front of that, we've got what we call a desert marigold, and they all just seem to complement each other on their yellows. And right in the middle, we got the what I call the exclamation mark, or really the sentinel of the landscape, great big old agaves. One day that man's it's gonna break his heart when he's gonna find out that they take off and go up and produce a flower and then they die. Notice right next to him he's got a vitex tree. Look at the vitex. It's doing everything it can to get around so it can get up on top of that acacia. It isn't going to do it, but nevertheless, in another few weeks, well, that's going to be solid purple. Right down in front here, folks, we don't see this plant very often. This is what we call a Valentine's plant, and that's been in bloom since last January. And oh, it's beautiful. It's got a fuchsia-like flower on it, and I just love the way it blooms. And then right back of it, folks, as beautiful as it is, a lot of people, when they plant this guy, it becomes a weed. But notice he's kind of got little trails around it, and that's what we call evening primrose, and it's a running one that likes to get around. But this time of year, it's absolutely awesome. And then, of course, they got the typical shoestring acacia. Right down here, we got a fairy duster, and all he needs to do is just prune that out and clean it up a little bit. But notice how it's all put together. It was a slope. Now it's just got little wandering paths all the way through it. Just something inviting everywhere. When people go by, you almost hear the brakes squeak just to stop to take a look at it. And of course, they got the big tall palms off to the side there to sort of watch over it and protect it. Folks, this is what's happening now across the valley when we go to desert landscaping. Color like this all year long, and he will have it. Now back to you in the studio.